Hi everybody, I am Pete Goldfinger, and I am so glad to be back at Stage 32. I have not been in a while because I wanted to be, but I was working, and then I told Amanda that the stuff I was working on was just not going to be interesting to anybody. And then I recently told her that I'd sold a show to CWC to do a digital online series, and that has been the most challenging and interesting thing that I'm working on because nobody really knows how to do it. And she said, you should do a blog about that. And I said, I don't think I'll have time. And she said, you can do it by video. And I thought, all right, maybe that's what I'll do. So what I always do whenever I get a job, the first thing I do is try to become my own expert, meaning I study and try and find as much online content as I can, try to establish some rules for myself so that I can best serve the project. Everybody thinks that their creative vision should exist in a vacuum, but you really need to see what everybody's doing out there so that you can take some of the things you like, leave alone some of the things that are not working. You can learn as much from the things you see that don't work for why they don't work than the things that do oftentimes. So today is going to be a very short one. I'm just going to read you my 8 rules, for creating online content. And hopefully Amanda will post this, and then this will count as a blog. Number 1, familiar but original. This is something that I sell all the time. And by that I mean, okay, it sounds like we got a car alarm going. Can we do that thing where you cut, you do a thing where you just cut. First, and this is a rule for everything I create, which is familiar but original. Everything that you create has to have both of those things. To say I'm making a movie about a bunch of guys who go to Las Vegas, it's very familiar. What's original is when they have to recreate the whole night before by going through their pockets. So that's original and familiar. Everything should have that. Something that the audience can hold on to, but showing you a different spin on how that might unfold. Number 2, know your audience. As an agent once said to me, you can write a story about a boy dying in Greenwich Village as long as you can tell me the audience that's going to come and see that. Remember, a lot of what you're creating is for people who spend a lot of time online. That's a different group of people, younger group of people than people that watch network TV. You have to understand, what you're marketing something to, because then if you write the greatest thing in the world, who's going to watch it, right? Rule number 3, they should get the whole thing in the first 30 seconds. If you have some character piece or something that's slow to develop, it's never going to work online. One of the more successful ones I saw was a series called Chad Vader, Day Shift Manager. And what was familiar about it was what's familiar about it is the market. It takes place at a supermarket. It's about a manager at a supermarket, something everybody relates to. The original part is Darth Vader is the manager at the supermarket. The familiar part is Darth Vader. The familiar part is the market. You put them all together, you have familiar but original, and you get it the minute you see Darth Vader. Rule number 4, be your own expert. We talked a little bit about this already, but in this case, whatever you're writing, if you're doing a one-off, if you're just going to do one funny thing, go look at Funny or Die. How long are the ones that people find funny? How quickly do they get into them? If you spend a day watching 40 of them, trust me, you'll be so much better prepared to make one. If you are doing a comedy series, look at The Real Bros of Simi Valley. How long is that show? Is there a beginning, middle, and end? What's the format that works? Is there anything that I can take as my own to sell a different show but with a similar format? Be your own expert. And it's really fun. You get to sit around in your pajamas and watch TV all day. Okay, number 5, no more than 5 minutes. But if you can do it in 3 minutes, that would be even better. Look, the name of the game here is the shorter, the better. People don't have great attention spans. That's why I tell you to get in quick. And let me ask you this. When you get a video that someone's made to you, what's the first thing you look at? How long it is, right? I would suggest not putting credits at the end, because if somebody sees a 4-minute and 45-second video, they might be more inclined to watch it than a 5-minute and 15-second short. So that's my advice. No more than 3 minutes. Number 6, think about production costs. Now, it's pretty obvious that you don't go shoot at Giant Stadium, or you don't have, Rodin flying around in the sky. But there are other production costs, like bringing in actors and trying to set up a set and having people play parts where they have to learn their script, and you have to make sure that the sound and the light is all perfect. You can do that much better. There are a lot of things where people just talk to camera. There's a show called The Daily Wine. It's a great, hilarious show that just has a guy talking to the camera at work and drinking wine. It can be that simple. The production cost on that, he could shoot that show edit it, and have it up and running in 5 hours. Number 7, pay your editors. If there's any money you're going to spend, I would recommend an editor. It's fine to get your USC film student to, cut it all together for you, but trust me, at the end of the day, you're going to want some bells and whistles on that thing, and hiring a guy for a couple $100s for a few hours is going to make whatever you're doing so much better. Like if you're watching this right now, I didn't have an editor. See, probably should have. Number 8, don't just hire friends to be a part of your production. I've made this mistake many times. Like you have the friend, he's like a stoner and he really plays a good stoner, and then you ask him to be in your short to play a stoner, and suddenly like the guy's trying to do King Richard III, right? The last thing you want to do is spend $3,000, doesn't have to be that much, but spend $100, $1,000, and have somebody come in, a friend that you can't fire because they're your friend, only to have them screw up the whole thing. Make sure the people you have on camera can give you what you need. All right, so those are my 8 rules for creating online content. Hopefully Amanda will put these online. The next thing I'm going to talk about in my next, what are we calling this thing? Video blog, is about how I got this job, the incarnations of what this show has been through to finally get greenlight to episodes, and the number of episodes are going to do, and what the arc's going to be, and all these other things we've been told to think about. It's going to be a lot of fun because mostly nobody knows anything. In that sense, online content is just like Hollywood. I'm Pete Goldfinger, and it's really good to be back at Stage 32. Bye. And cut.